cents for me. Because either way, I get 10 cents out of it. I change the money. I change the dollar. And I take back 90 cents to go and I tell 10 cents to
Ronald, I'm the 5th son of Cecil Potter.
My name is St. Clair Potter, and I'm the 4th son of Margaret and Cecil Potter.
I'm Milton Potter. I am the youngest son number 7 of Cecil and Margaret Potter.
Evan Potter, the 6th son.
Yeah.
6th of Cecil and Margaret Potter.
Vivian Potter. I am number 3 and number 2 of Cecil and Margaret
Look
Potter.
at the camera. Look at the
I
camera.
can see it.
You see the camera?
Yeah.
Alright. And I'm Oswald. I come out for St. Clair and Everson.
How you get the third and the second?
Yeah.
The third
I'm the third of Daddy. I'm the third for Daddy and the second of Mom.
And we have some sisters there in between.
It's Carol,
Lydia,
Patricia.
Patricia, and Carol.
We got to acknowledge the Father Potter, Cecil Potter,
Yeah.
Definitely, absolutely.
who was the 5th and probably the most famous Potter of all time.
What's your a memory that stands out about Cecil Potter? Anybody?
All I remember is,
Let me
let me tell you something. Cecil will say whatever was on his mind.
That's true.
Cecil didn't feel like he had to
Filter.
sugarcoat nothing, filter nothing.
What I know about Cecil is that Cecil really loved his food.
Yeah.
I mean, no ifs, ands, and buts about it, and I think he started at an early age singing, because he had a song at my belly. He would look at the food and stay at the corner, and he would say, "My belly is full up to the brim." So I figured that that's where Cecil started, you know. Cecil, he started at a very, very young age.
But he was in love with food, but he didn't get fat until he was in 11th grade.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was a vegetarian.
He was always skinny until he became a vegetarian.
I guess you know, his thoughts of being a vegetarian is not eating meat, but the thing about it is he used to eat a lot of starch.
The quantity.
He would
starch.
macaroni and cheese. He would have it. Peas and rice. He would have it. Food cocktail and he would have it. You know, so no meat.
I know one thing about Cecil was that he was a man of time. And I remember getting into some arguments with Cecil
That is true.
because of time.
Me too.
We thought we were leaving to go to the airport for 6 o'clock. You know, and I'm coming by at 6 o'clock. You want to be there like 3 hours before. Even before the airlines had the requirement to be there 3 hours before. You want to be there like 3 hours before, sitting on his seat at the airport, just waiting for the plane to come.
And if you were on time, you were late.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, those are times that we will have a little fuss because I kind of don't like the idea of waiting too long on the airplane. So I would be a little late, and we would have our share of arguments and debates about time.
But I remember,
I could remember in Tortola, I remember how Ed was so on to swim.
Okay.
I could remember when Ed was so on to swim. We had a bateau. And the guys would go out in the bateau to make it out of them century plant. And then they had a little dinghy. And they got out and they say, if you can't swim, don't come out. Don't come in the dinghy. Ed doesn't say he could swim. gone out and they turn it up. Every person can swim and lick. He did.
I could have
But he
swam,
was
but I didn't let nobody know that I could have swam.
he was able eventually to keep his head above water.
Survival. That's survival.
That's how he learned to swim.
You remember Ugash?
Yeah, that. I remember pushing and go to Barbados with what?
I had to go down and I had to save us both.
I mean, how you remember? I said because.
But I have to take a hold you by your neck. We never move from memory. Listen to this one. That's true. That is true.
Not in Barbados Bay.
In Barbados Bay, either somebody, I pushed us, somebody pushed you over the one.
And you were sinking.
His head was down, his foot was on his back.
I had to come
I had to be
down
about
and you.
4 years old, 4 years old, I'm telling you. I actually remember, I'm not going to really call out names, and if you identify who it is, we whistle. We'll never know to meet Granny again, up the hill, for him. We all thought that we had a conch shell. Obviously, that's the song of fish. So our grandmother gave one of us a whole dollar.
Okay, let me tell you this. Granny gave me money to go buy
$1.
A solid
$1.
and something happened and we didn't get enough fish. I didn't get enough fish enough. I was like 10 years old before we came out to St. Thomas. I didn't get enough fish. 9 or 10. I didn't get enough fish. But I wanted 10 cents for me. Because either way I would get 10 cents. I changed the money. I changed the dollar. And I take back 90 cents to Granny and tell her 10 cents to her.
I think that it wasn't like 10 cents now, but 10 cents, it was far overboard.
I told Granny 10 cents.
But wait.
But I used to figure out how to get a little thing. This one being so good to say, but Granny said to buy 2 pounds of sugar. So I would go and buy like 1.5 pounds, 1.75 pounds of sugar. I got a count and I got an answer, I know what it was. And I could have got a little 5 cents for me. That's how you get a little thing because it wasn't nobody giving you no change to the market.
I used to buy 5 cent cake.
And 5 cent candy, 5 cent sugar cake and that kind of thing.
When Milton was young, Milton was a different personality now.
Yeah, you keep calm as well now.
Because Milton, in my view, was like a fighter, almost like a violent personality. One time, something, them little arguing about something, and there was a radio.
I kind of remember that.
A radio on the floor. And me and Milton back and forth, cussing. And Milton just pick up the radio and fling it at me.
Milton also?
You remember that?
I didn't remember this.
Milton would take up anything and throw at you.
You have to understand though. You have to understand. I was the youngest. 8 boys.
But they never used to pick on
I
you.
was smallest.
So they never really used to pick on you. You just had that someone like you ready to.
In order for me to kind of survive, I used to have to develop the reputation of being a crazy person. Don't mess with them, getting liable, pick up anything, and try to. I think that came into play. I can't remember that word.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Talk about getting beat. Who used to get beat the most?
I think that I used to get beat the most.
I
get beat the most.
I remember one time, I think that's why I learned to climb. A big kind of tree in the yard. When Granny take off, to beat that Granny mommy, I run up in the mango tree, not the kind of tree, and I sit up there. And Granny would take it out of the racket. And
Yeah, you remember that game.
eventually,
You have to come
I
down.
was able to come down. But by the then another time, because I used to do a lot of crazy stuff and get away with it. Edwardson used to get a beating.
He used to get that spoon.
What I used to do every time Bando to beat me when I do something, it had anything to do around the house, I used to go and I used to do it. And Mommy used to just, after a while, she calmed down. But this day, after, with that chicken, Mommy finished baking, she passed me, you know, she come out and I think everything good. But at night, I get ready to go sleep. Mommy grabbed me. And I had no place to run under the bed. My mom take a broomstick and she dig me out and gave me my beating. But listen, I mean it was abusive or anything like that, but you know.
So you know better.
Yeah.
You know better.
Okay, one thing we need to get a good understanding of. Who's the best cook among the brothers?
I am.
Now, who was the best cook growing up?
Asbot definitely was as far as survival because
That's how we are.
well, but Asbot really and truly was the one when Mommy and Daddy left.
When I was 10 years old, you know what 10 years old is?
I was 9, I think it was 9 Asbot.
No,
I think it was
know
younger
about
than
10 because I came out St. Thomas and I was 10.
Oh, but we talking tattoo.
No, I thought St.
Oh,
Thomas.
St.
I
Thomas.
thought
Okay, very well.
I was 10. Going Lockhart School, 6th grade. And I could have cooked.
Yeah,
I used to have to come home 10 years old and cook for all of them. Mommy and Daddy used to go to work. Edwardson and St. Clair was smart. They went and they get a job at Grand Union and some other place down the road like this Annie or something. And 10 years old, I used to cook pork chops. I used to cook chicken.
You used to cook, you used to season it up.
But I used to cook and feed you when you were a little boy.
I
So when I was at school, I used to come home. They outside playing football and marble. And I had to cook. I had to come and cook them. I cooked stewed chicken, saltfish and dumpling, pork chops. I never, ever, ever up to today cook fungi. But that's another story. And one day I cooked some mutton. I cook in the mutton and I still went outside to play marble. The mutton got burned. The worst thing is when you burn mutton. That's the worst thing. I didn't know what to do. I fried it because I know that I can beat it. And I went and I cut off the bun part of the mutton, throw it away, and stew the mutton down again in tomato sauce. Everybody gonna taste the bun mutton. You know, but at 10 years old, I used to cook for all of them and feed all of them. Today, all of them could cook. I know all of them in their own right cook.
Who's the best? Who's the best?
Before they talk about the best cook.
No, right now. We're talking about right now.
Mommy used to teach us how to soak, wash, iron. And Mommy used to say she had a string of boys and no woman. I was like an idiot. And because they decide they're cooking that we can't eat.
I know in St. Thomas,
we
I know
learned to
Ben
make
has
cake
been 10
and
and 11 years. Asbot probably could have ironed so good that Daddy had him ironing his drawers. The back
Daddy had me working at when we were smart. You remember Daddy used to have us wake up in the morning
5 o'clock to go wash the car.
To go wash his car seat before the day start.
One thing Edison used to do, Edison used to rev the engine for no particular reason. And you don't remember that?
No.
You don't remember that? You should rev the engine and that. I had better. He did not.
He said when you start in my car, do not put your foot on the accelerator. He used to always tell us, he said you start it and let it just idle.
That was a rambler, eh, Milton?
So no.
That was a rambler. You know a rambler? You know a rambler?
Who was it had a BB gun?
No, that was Patrick.
It was Ronald.
No.
It was something
It was
BB
Ronald. It was
gun.
Ronald.
Some.
It was Patrick. It was Patrick. It was Patrick. It was Patrick who hit Ricky's father where the first McDonald's was.
Well, maybe that's the second time you have to shoot somebody.
But when we were growing up, we couldn't get any bike. Not, it was roller skate, it was flyaways.
Yeah.
Flyaways, and that was the only thing, it was $9.99.
Flyaways,
Flyaways,
you
flyaways.
push your foot.
You wear the shoes so they can
Yeah. But flyaways, we couldn't afford, bikes. And everybody wanted Hot Wheels, but that was the only thing. I can remember at one point, things were so rough that I got a socket without a gun. I don't remember the gun at all.
That's not. With your finger?
Yeah, nothing. That was bad. Things were rough.
We said that we used to make our own toy taps.
Yeah.
You know, we used to be roll up and then go inside a tire and somebody.
Yeah.
I see you there rolling, going down.
I mean, a bicycle wheel itself, you used to get it at, I think.
Bicycle
wheel.
One thing we all had to do was go to school.
Oh yeah. That's
Everybody was playing that.
Yeah.
One playing that.
I used to say,
Education.
go to school, get an education. When you leave from there,
It was
go to
read
the
a book.
airport.
It was read a book.
There's
Do
some
something with
place
your life. Do you remember that? I was telling you, read a book. Read a book.
Yeah.
Read a book. But Daddy used to read a lot.
He does.
Daddy used to read a lot. Daddy had tons of books that he used to read a lot.
I know.
One thing about him, he used to do. He used to
I know
read
for a
all the
fact,
time.
one summer Daddy punished me. He punished me. I was learning how to type.
Okay.
I don't know if it was in high school or on the side I was learning to type. And for some reason, Daddy had a book. You were a firefighter done by the
Port Authority.
airport. And he wanted me to type out the book for him. I don't know if you remember.
I don't remember that task. I don't remember that assignment.
But listen, this was the weirdest thing. I used to have to type out the book for Daddy. I don't even know if he ever used it. But I spent a whole summer typing a book out for Daddy. I got who are the best cook here,
But I remember.
Who is the best cook?
Who is the best cook?
I don't think that if we can.
We have a cook-off.
It will have to be. So it will have to be the audience, because I think that I am. Don't think I put my hand there.
I would say probably Ronnie.
I put my hand in there.
I would say Ronnie.
I mean, I was starting by.
I would put my hand in the air and say I'm the best cook because I know I'm the best.
I know Melton could cook a good salmon. He could cook a good salmon.
Some of them can cook one thing.
He could cook a good
They could
salmon.
cook one thing. Some people could cook a baker. But put it. Some could cook at salmon bars, and that's just specific. But when it comes to the totality, I put my hand there.
My children, if you ask my children, who is the best cook out of you and your mother?
They can
Hands
say,
down, they can say that.
yeah.
They can say that. Paula is a great cook.
That's right. That is correct. That is a good quality.
I'm a really good cook. Now, I have to admit, Sinclair and Rani could cook.
They cook for the
And
they cook for the
quantity. Sinclair could cook veggie lasagna and all the veggie stuff. And
I make sure I get on the veggie lasagna on Fridays.
yeah. Every cook.
Because I know somehow I get tested because I know they're gonna be meat. I'm telling these veggies.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I just know. I don't know how to determine that. I have to take it to the lab.
Yeah, one last guy. I'll tell you something else.
Let that.
I'm not going to say Gabo, but all I can say is,
But what?
15 years ago.
15 years ago, he said,
I had something from him. I went to Atlanta where he had
Yeah, barbecue.
I like Americans. Barbecue is a big thing.
Put
So
some
you
seasoning,
put the thing on it?
and you just put it on the oven.
Yes,
Just put it on the
it was a tasty barbecue. So I give you that.
That is so embarrassing.
It was.
I remember, this thing of food now. I remember one time when Daddy had the yellow ambassador. Daddy went someplace and he told me that the manifold on the car is messed up, it doesn't have any power. So, you know, don't try to get up them hills and all that kind. Right? I went by Grand Union and somebody said they want a taxi. And they're going flat hill. I see what I could make a couple dollars. I drive that car up flat hill. And when I go almost to the top, the car started to roll.
Oh, Jesus.
I tried to put the thing in park or something and hold the brakes and nothing ain't happening.
You're the passengers in the car?
Yeah. I dropped over an embankment. Like I'm telling you what.
That's amazing.
In front of the car sticking up.
What?
I had the car a wrecker.
What?
But the only
Two
thing
records have to be
the car wasn't damaged a whole lot. Okay? It was damaged a whole lot. Because I guess, look.
It was locked.
It wasn't really damaged, it just went over and
It just went over the embankment.
That same car I ended up getting from Daddy. And that was a gas guzzler. That thing, and that's when gas was cheap. But then I could have put in $5 gas, go from like UVI to the country and gas done. I did $5 more dollars to put in. But I had got that ambassador. I think that wasn't the first car I got.
The first car was the Mustang.
The first car was the Mustang. That's a place. It was a yellow Mustang.
Yellow Mustang.
And I used to walk by, I was going UVA, and I was walking
Pennsylvania Bank.
first, where it was VA
First
National Bank
Bank,
at the time, VA National Bank in the night. So I go into work like 5 o'clock, I am finishing work till like 11. You know, part-time running the computer stuff for them. Every once in a while I would then sing play the car and think, okay, no problem. So I done sing play the car one day, and I come out. You can remember this, man. Martin, remember this. You had lent the car to your friend.
Yes, Master Man.
Fitzroy.
Yes.
You had a friend named Fitzroy.
Fitzroy Williams?
No, not Fitzroy.
No. You had a friend, a Rasta too. A friend. You lent him the car after I lent it to you. And he wrecked the car out by Antony School.
And
So
he
you
left
remember that? So you remember that? He wrecked the car
It
out
probably
by
happened, but
You would think that
they were probably so crazy that I probably black it out.
Like it was
But here the worst part.
selective amnesia.
But here the worst part, the worst part is they didn't even move the car. I had to go get a record, pay for a record to move the car.
That's
from
insulting.
Antony School.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same time.
Say that you still don't remember?
Same time about the car. Listen, I had
Like you say, was so, you know, I just
Traumatic.
and I just.
well, I come out from work 11 o'clock the night and no car. No car. And I find my way home and then I find out
But
car wreck out at this.
But remember this, one night we were coming up, we were driving up Fort Miller Stretch. Obviously, on the run and all those places.
Yeah, that same car.
And that was correct, the same car. And the front right wheel came off and went straight to the bush.
Yeah.
I don't forget anything.
I didn't know much about cars. I didn't know much about cars then. But I driving home, because we were living in the valley.
In the valley, yeah.
I driving home and I hear pop, pop, pop. But I have no idea what I mean. I hear pop, 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 pop. Man, I don't know what I mean. Pop, 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 pop. Then I hear boom, boom, boom.
The wheel came and shoot off and went in the bush all the way.
In the bush, I come out, I find logs here, logs there, logs there. Find the tire in the
Oh,
bush.
you had changed your tire, you didn't tighten the lock.
I don't know how happened, but
you didn't tighten
so
them up.
the I know I was in the first year at UVA then. The fender and everything come off and I had to stick it under the car with a piece of tape, stick it up under the car piece of tape. You go a little bump too hard, it come back off. So you know, that's when the Reef had the discotheque. Remember the discotheque?
And this all of that, they were.
So we used to go to the disco with the cat tape up and thing. I never had no love the car. I never loved the car.
I remember the javelin that you had.
Let me tell you about the javelin. Let me tell you about the javelin.
A red javelin.
I walk in, burgundy.
Okay.
Maroon. I walk in VA National Bank Stadium. I walk VA Bank from since I was like in 12th grade. I walk in VA Bank and my good friend sell, well, he wasn't a good friend then, sell me a car.
But that's
right after the Mustang game mashup.
But that was that girl, the VI Comedy Club, what's her name? Boyfriend.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's a boyfriend. She went to school with you. He's the one who sold it to that last man.
Let me tell you who sent me the car.
Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Sorry.
I buy the car from Baker.
Okay.
I buy the car from Baker.
Yes,
I used to work with the sister. That car run for about 3 weeks.
About that.
That car run for about 3 weeks. The car looked good. The car looked sharp. The car looked sharp. Javelin is sharp. Inside is burgundy, outside is maroon, and it's just clean and nice. But that car was on blast. After 3 weeks waiting for something with the engine.
So now
Baker sent me a lemon.
Big time. Okay, who used to fix the car? What's the name?
Who used to fix the car with this guy from Antigua?
Antigua.
Yeah. Sir.
I remember one time, Mustang.
I think it coming back to him.
It wouldn't
It coming back to him.
So I figured it might be the starting motor, you know. So I went under the car. I think it was in gear.
Oh, you leave it in gear?
Yeah,
You went under the car?
I went under the car. And I I took a screwdriver or something and I touched the thing there and I hear, then the car take out. I had to run, open the door, jump inside the car, put my foot on the brakes. I never made that mistake again.
Manny, it couldn't have been a stick shift.
Well,
No. Drive a stick.
I'm just saying.
I couldn't have stick all the time.
I know what I'm saying. But look, talking about that, I had a BMW, and then for some dumb reason, I'm outside working, it's in gear, and I started up, and the friggin' thing took off, and the road right there, and I jumped in through the window, trying to turn the key off, and the thing run into a lamppost.
And maybe that's when the issues and stuff started with it.
I remember when I was learning how to drive and Asbot was teaching me how to drive. So Asbot teaching me how to drive, I went to my driving manual. We out and Bavoni track.
Drag strip.
The drag strip down there.
Yes.
It was me and Evelyn. And me and Evelyn in the car, you all the way in the back. I was learning how
Wait, you say he was smart?
I learned how to reverse.
When you say all the way in the back,
The back seat, the way in the back. Way back.
Way
Oh,
back.
that was smart. That was smart.
So, I'm divorcing. I'm divorcing. I'm going kind of slow, mash some gas. Picking up. By now the car going. Evelyn in the front seat, Evelyn screaming. We passed, I'll be crashing to the
Wow.
building.
Wow.
You knew that?
No.
You remember that?
Yeah, black or something.
I remember when I was in high school, I just got my license. I couldn't drive stick, but I used to watch what everybody doing, when they're driving a stick. So I said, okay, I could drive a stick. So I went and I get to rent somebody get to rent a bug, a standard bug. That time Fitzroy used to live somewhere going out in the outside area. So I said, okay, I go down my Fitzroy. I went down the hill. And I couldn't get back up. When I started to come back over here, so I had to roll it back. And I tried to figure out, I said, eventually, after maybe about 15 minutes, after about an hour or something like that, I finally figured out now that
You got to put the clutch
low,
on.
yeah.
I had a driving story myself. I remember when I got my license. 16 years old. I just got my license. As we were working at the bank, First Pen Bank or whatever the name of the bank was at the waterfront. And Asbel, you had a green Malibu or something.
You had a Malibu? No Malibu.
He had a lot of cars in there. But I borrowed your car. It was after school. I used to go to the Ken. But I still had a lot of friends who used to go and see just, because I went locked at school and all that. So I borrowed my Asbel car. I'm driving down Main Street. But hey, Potter, man, you're looking good, man. I just poked in my ear, feeling good, boy, my hand. Next thing I know, he hit it. A man coming, crossing waterfront with a hand truck full of boxes. I knocked down the map. I swear, man, the man, everybody was just, oh, he almost killed me. Hey, Potter, go on. I didn't know what to do. What do you do in a situation like this? Do I help him with the boxes? Do I just keep going?
Don't be that.
I was just confused. Thank God the man picked up the boxes. And he went. I didn't drive again for another 3 months. I didn't get over that.
I know Cecil was teaching me to drive the stick. Cecil and they were passing the seat and the driver's seat. The stoplight divided by Petrus Plaza. It was another gas station way back then. So I drive in, and we get to the stoplight. The light on red. I'm supposed to stop. I mash in the brakes, but the car ain't stopping. And so I was screaming, mash the clutch! The clutch! The clutch! I don't know where the hell the clutch is. And Cecil reached over, I swear, Cecil reached over, put his hand
On the clutch?
on the clutch, and we don't cross the intersection. If another car will come in,
That was it.
Cecil moved. He was that agile too.
he was slim then.
Oh,
My first car was a stick. I couldn't drive it off the parking lot. My good friend today, Keith. Same Keith Smith. This is how crazy Keith was. Keith can't even drive a stick. But Keith teaching me how to drive a stick. And Keith persuading me that he know how to drive a stick.
But that means
It was just crazy.
That means that keep crazy. I mean, the twin,
I believe it, man. I mean, if I teach you to drive a stick, I have to know that.
You guys are at family?
At family. And I used to live down in this place. I used to have to drive up and think I would say, mommy, the prayers of a good mother.
I remember I had a car. It was a standard. And had a factory defect. So one of the, I think the right fender used to be racked. It's racked out. It just, you know, the rest of the car was
Rusted and
it just racked. It just
A step of rust.
no man, it just the whole. Listen, I went by one of these parts place, one of these they said buy some bondo.
So your own body work.
I was doing my own body work. I put the bondo on it. I put about no, I put about a gallon. A whole gallon bondo on it, right? Then I got a little sandpaper and sand it off on it. Right? But the thing still continues to run.
But
I went and I get another gallon and I put on it again. Same thing happening. I get another gallon.
you gotta be out of your mind.
Look, I tell you, when I finish putting another bondo, they come like this.
They got a bomb.
They come like one-sided. The driver's side, when I put on the bondo, drop.
I want to shift a second. Well, kind of. With mommy. And I was thinking back about mommy when we moved out from, I guess from down in the west. We moved to Grass Valley, right? When we were at Grass Valley house, mommy, her pride and joy was her yard, her garden. We had everything in her garden.
Yeah.
When I reflect on that, it's amazing.
everything is
watermelon,
cabbage,
cabbage, potato,
cabbage,
peas,
everything.
plum, you name it, we had it there. The whole thing was this.
Yeah, you used to live in Ras Valley?
Yeah.
Where's the valley where we are? Oh, okay.
We like Ras Valley, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I never used to live there.
Continue.
I need some
My thing was, she used to live by this farmer's almanac.
Yeah.
So sometimes you go out at night, on a Friday night, and we already have it set. Today is a good planting day for things above the ground.
Above the drum.
So you got to get up early for the morning to plant the potato or plant the, and if you don't get up, I remember one time, and we went to get a bucket of water. All hands sleeping. I think I got it. I was compliant. I used to comply. And she threw the water. And for you, I was
But Milton said you were compliant.
I was compliant.
I don't remember seeing you one time.
One thing that we did our big. Who used to be out there is Abby used
to enjoy the farm.
We could have cut.
Yeah.
I remember it was there, I think it was 13, it was either 12 or 13, and it was Thanksgiving. And that's when I decided I stopped eating meat.
I have a story.
So I stopped. So I tell mommy, I want a turkey, I want a ham. I stopped eating meat.
What were you in?
What about 8th grade, 9th grade?
Yeah.
How about 13 years old?
Yeah,
So mommy was happy with that. And he said,
I ain't cooking no 2-pack.
yes. And she said, don't call nothing that the Lord made unclean or something.
Yeah.
So I stopped. Thanksgiving was
Not even the
9th day.
Oh, your last day.
And thank God for that garden that we had there. Because mommy decided, mommy cooking some soup, she put a piece of pork in it. If she making some peas and rice, she put a piece of chicken in it. Just to break me. I like mommy, I ain't doing it. And I used to make rice and okra.
Rice and
What you are stop eating it? What was you and the other swine era? We took it a step above that and stop eating meat.
I think, of course, after a while, about the 6 months, Then she started accommodating me.
Yeah.
She got an extra pot of soup for me. Yeah.
When I retired from teaching after 31 years, I remember teachers coming to me and saying, you got out at the right time. Because the amount of paperwork that they have to do now, it takes away
From
from the learning process. You know, so, you know, and you know, some of them are still complaining, you know, about that. You know, and then in high school, they used to also, I remember during the summer, they had an excellent vocational education program.
The washer,
Mechanic, carpentry,
plumbing, electricity, everything you could have done, you could have gone into that.
During the summer, students from those classes used to go and they used to do the maintenance of the high school, paint schools and stuff like that. You know, but now,
There's
we don't
nothing.
have it.
I know definitely they don't have the
Vocational
program has been totally.
They should bring that back. It needs to come back. Vocational training need to come back in high school. Definitely.
We do, because not everybody is going to be college bound.
But
Everybody wants to go to college
not
bound.
just that.
Everybody wants to, and the community has needs.
Yeah.
And just look, just this past hurricane that destroyed the territory, Irma and Maria.
You have
The fact that we need electricians and masons and welders and carpenters. You don't have Virgin Islanders really doing that line of work right now.
no more.
We don't. There's a big gap. There's a big
But even
void.
still, when you go to college, what are they teaching you to do? You have people going, we want to be in sociology, visology.
But that's fine.
And
There's a
come
need
back.
for that too.
I come back
There's a
and
need
history.
for that too.
But I am not saying that. But you are not getting the job slots are not open to pay you anything. I see kids go to school and get a sociology degree and come back out and making $12 an hour.
Yeah, well, and if you're going for a sociology degree, you have to think that
Then
you
you
may need to go and get my master's degree.
school or something.
Get my master's degree and at least have be an MSW. I mean, to think that you could just go and have a bachelor's in social work and you somehow
They
get it,
don't
that's
cost
not
the
very
kids and let
realistic.
them know
That's a big problem.
what they're going into.
Yeah. See, I think the Virgin Islands right now, as far as education is concerned, I think we are seriously suffering from a case of low expectations. And I think maybe it's because of the consecutive blows. We already had a deteriorated infrastructure
With
that needed to,
accreditation.
and then you had the hurricanes, and then you had the next hurricane, and then you had the coronavirus, and before you could even catch yourself, you know, you're hit with consecutive blows. And right now, I think the thinking is, Lord, if we could just keep our head above water, that's good enough. You know, so it's no longer a situation where we're striving for excellence. The bar isn't here, the bar is down here. And we really can't be satisfied with that.
But with the marijuana situation and the passing of the marijuana, the legalization of
Recreational marijuana.
recreational marijuana, do you think indeed that that will help? That should get enough monies in the kitty?
But somebody's taking the money and finding the
nobody
nobody
isn't taking any money now because it hasn't been approved. So nobody's taking any money now.
Somebody tell me the first seed they will plant yet?
Correct.
For the recreational marijuana.
Hey,
By the time the bulk of that money was going to the
75% is supposed to go to GRS.
Not the bulk.
And then the 25 goes
It's
to central.
20% of a certain amount.
this is where we should be buying land to go grow weed.
But that's when as far as crime, that's when marijuana is legalized, because one of the things that was proposed that if you have a quarter acre, you will get permission and everything that's needed to plant your marijuana. And I am going to be looking at your ground. And especially when it starts to flourish, and I can come in and I can take. And that's where the crime situation is going to come in. And you are going to protect Because you're gonna, I don't know how long does it take from C to, anybody knows?
I never.
I don't know.
Anybody knows?
I don't know.
Well, and that's where the crime situation is going to come, because I am going to protect my plant. If I have a quarter acre, and trust me, nobody's going to come on my plant, and that's where I get my pistol. And that's where crime is going to go.
What do you
up.
think about crime right now as it stands, gun violence and crime in the
But
budget?
it is totally
What do
out
you
of
think?
order. We don't know where. Number one, we may have an idea of where these guns are coming from, but I think that we need to have a better police presence, a stronger police presence. I just think that we need a better police presence. But as far as the guns, we need to do a better job in basically finding out and preventing these pistols from coming into this.
Well, do you think that the origin of these guns coming into the territory is known?
But
Do you think that some of those police that we
No,
have
some
are
individuals,
compromised?
most of them believe that it's coming through the regular postal system. I don't believe that.
The feedback
I don't believe that.
I
Because
asked,
most of them to the top believe that it's coming through, and they're sliding through from the regular mail system.
They're coming in the containers that are coming here with food and other products.
I asked
I don't know.
I
I
asked
don't know.
police officials about that. Where do you think the guns are coming?
I wanted to tell you.
And the feedback that I got was, look, I know the talk is that they're coming in through tropical shipping trailers and all of that. We've done initiatives. We've done joint initiatives with the federal government.
Say Crowley
We've done-
said all about
We've done random Crowley, tropical shipping, all of the other shipping things. He said, it's, in spite of what you may think, they're not coming to the territory in the trailers. That has been our experience. What we are seeing them, where we are seeing them coming from is through the airport and through the mail. That's where the bulk of the firearms, that's where they're coming into the territory.
The question
It's
as
good
far
to
as
believe
those
that-
trailers, how many trailers do come to this island, whether on a daily, bi-weekly, 3 or 4 days? And all of those trailers, they are just randomly. They have an
I think
X
it's
and then
randomly.
bam. And it's randomly.
And you randomly
And
do
it's
it.
probably
But you don't have the manpower.
strategically.
You have the manpower to do
strategically
it
done.
for every single trailer to
You know,
inspect all.
Because look, you know how many trailers do come in? You know how many trailers do come to this island, come to
It's
this
a lot.
place?
Everything that we get here is important. So it's a lot. You know. But I believe, and I know Evie might have something to say about this, I believe as far as the crime in this territory and the fact that the bulk of the gun violence, you're talking about the victims and the perpetrators are typically young Virgin Islands males.
And they are not the ones bringing it
They
in.
are the ones who are using it.
Okay.
They are the ones who are the victims of it.
Who?
Young black males.
Evie,
They're the ones that died. Just the other day I saw a video. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know how many I saw it. Ran out.
those people chasing each other around.
I think it was in the ghettos.
Yeah,
There was-
no, that was
There was, it was like a shootout at the OK Corral. I mean, it was probably 12, 1 o'clock at night, and these young males, you could tell that these guys are in the teens, early 20s. You know, and they are just indiscriminately firing shots throughout the neighborhood.
Well, we briefly talked about this thing earlier, Milton, and the surveillance that they do have. The surveillance is a joke.
Well, we saw the
We
cameras.
can saw the cameras, but we cannot identify. Why are you going to put have cameras? And the cameras are there because there were 2 sets of cameras. There were 2 sets of cameras. I saw this one guy say, yeah, that's them there in the corner. And he ran down, he fired some pistols, and he turned around, he came up, and he went again. But these things like that, and that's the reason why I asked you.
Yeah.
If they were able to identify, I mean, the voice was crystal clear. Yeah, that's the man on the corner, that's the man down there. You know?
Take more than that to
But I
pick somebody
realize,
up.
I know that. But as far as the surveillance, I think that the surveillance is a joke.
I think
They need to make sure that they have these cameras that would be able to not
it's
connect.
good to talk about the cameras.
You have to acknowledge you can't stop guns from coming into any community.
Right.
I don't
The
understand.
And the fact that they're here,
The question is, what is it about us
no,
as a
it's like,
people that have us killing each other? That's the question to ask. Because there are many communities all over the world that have access to whatever firearm you want, you can get.
Anything.
But not in every community is there this big murder mentality. And the question is, what is it about us
Miguel,
that have us, our children, that has this murder, killing, lawless mentality? And how do you address that? Because stopping the guns ain't a stop. But you can't stop the guns, but what? Slowing down the guns ain't gonna stop the killing, ain't gonna stop the murder, ain't gonna stop the lawlessness.
It may slow down.
Listen. It can come down to one of the things that we've done in this campaign, which is the family.
Yes.
Which, when you look at it, you know, is critical to a lot of things. You can look at us. None of us here ever been, let's say, convicted of having a firearm, shooting anybody, going in jail or nothing like that. Because even though things were tight or whatever it is, we had a good family structure coming up. We had a good family structure coming up. And, you know, none of us here, all of us here, you know, have gone through a lot of crazy situations but never had to resolve them by trying to get a firearm or trying to get rid of somebody and all of that, as angry and as mad as we might have ever been in our life. So the structure is important. I know earlier we were talking about, you know, who used to get beat the most and all of that and all of that. Today you really can't hit your children. Today, the way I used to beat you when you were smaller, and I used to beat Milton, I used to beat Rami.
I don't remember. You always say that.
The way I was able to beat you, and there was never a problem.
It was constructive.
Y'all know that if I beat you and y'all come with any stupidness with me, then it's mommy and daddy I have to deal with. If Sega never to beat me, I can't go tell them no stupidness because you respect your elders and it was in the family structure that happened. Sega beat me, why you gonna do? Just cry and take it because I figure Sega ain't a crazy man. I must do something. I must beat me the same thing. And it went down the line, I beat you. Trust me, I hit you sometimes. Because you did some stupidness. But the thing is, I wasn't like pushing back at me and coming and, you know, getting that angry and everything. I wanted to take it on because you had some stability in the family.
Yes,
and it went on
and you got the love and respect. So you beating the hell out of me, but I know
it's
that
love.
it's love and respect.
I think
And we have lost
And
that.
that ain't happening.
I think what's happening.
it will never come
I think
back
what's
to that
happening
again.
is you're
Never
seeing a
come back to that.
breakdown. You're seeing a breakdown in the family. You're seeing a real epidemic now of absent fathers. The fathers are absent. The mothers have multiple jobs trying to grind out some kind of living in this crazy
The mothers chase their fathers out to the house.
One second I was speak. But you have, there's no way, I being a father, that any mother is going to chase me out of the life of my child. In the courts today, if you go in the courtroom and you see those kids, those young men who are right there facing a judge being sentenced, 95% of them are coming from a household where the father was absent, the father played no role in their life. They didn't have structure, they didn't have an environment with structure, with values, setting limits, understanding where you know, what you can do and what you can't do. It's not happening anymore with great consistency. And you have a lot of the women who are being the surrogate fathers. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to say it, but the men in the community, a lot of us are not carrying our weight. And that is why we are seeing the destruction in our families and the violence that we're seeing among, and anger that we're seeing among our young men. That, I think, is something you can't really legislate, but it's something as a people that we can recapture, I think. I worked at the Family Resource Center part-time back in the 2000 and something. I worked for a couple of years. Judge Yassi and Judge Hala, I think, what they would do would be for those domestic violence situations, the men who came before her court, as in exchange for them not going to jail, they were required to attend this program called Men Terminating Violence at the Family Resource Center, that they were mandated to attend. It was really an amazing thing. It was me, Carol Reimer, and Carol Henneman, and I at 2 different times served as co-facilitators for those groups. And it was really something amazing. To begin with, I was a little apprehensive about doing a group because I know these men don't want to be here. So they're coming in there, they vex at me, they vex at anybody who, you know, is a part of this thing. So I was really amazed at how receptive they were to getting information about conflict resolution, resolving conflict, using words to diffuse a situation. They just never were taught. A lot of us were never taught alternative conflict resolution skills. Those guys took a whole lot from the program. They were receptive. It was supposed to be a confidential thing, but I can't tell you how many people on the street. You're trying to be discreet and trying to just act like, you know, I don't really know you, coming up to you and saying, man, it's a part I really want to thank you. You know, I got a lot out of this program. I mean, things like that we need.
But conflict resolution, wasn't that implemented from 9th grade?
But I don't know if there's a real effort to, you know,
I thought it was
teach.
a class. I thought it was an actual class. I remember.
Maybe it might be an option that people can take, but I don't think it's anything that's mandated in our schools.
But I remember right back in the early 2001, 2002, I had a court-appointed juvenile case.
Yeah, Todd.
Court,
You're talking about a case.
But this is when I
A
was
lawyer.
not a prosecutor. I was working for Dudley.
Okay.
And we had a court-appointed juvenile case. And there were 6 juveniles between the ages, I think, 11 and 13. They were all students at a junior high school. And they were accused of assaulting a female behind, but I can be specific. Anyway, in the Frenchtown area. So they all got arrested. They all before the judge. The judge was Kendall at the time. And you know, Kendall was, I like Judge Kendall. Kendall was the type of judge that he believes in a second chance. I mean, like really, really believe in a second chance. So we were there in front of the judge. And the issue was whether or not he was going to send the juveniles to the YRC until the case came for hearing. So we had a hearing. So courtroom is packed. And we have all the mothers, there were no fathers for these 6 juvenile boys. We had a hearing, Judge Kendall take testimony, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the hearing, Judge Kendall says, okay, we're going to send you guys back to your homes, to your mothers, your family. And after he said that, a hand went up. And this was one of the mothers of Williamsburg.
She didn't want to come.
He said, Judge, can I say something? Judge said, sure, put up and stand. What do you have to say? Can you not send him back home? Can that's what he mean? He said, Judge, we are afraid of him. Can I say, you afraid of who? Talent boy? He probably would have been 90 to 100 pounds. Maybe 5'5", 5'4". Judge said, you afraid of him? The lady says, Judge, right now, me, him, and my daughter, we live in a one-bedroom apartment. He live in a bedroom.
Wow.
Me and my daughter, we sleep on the couch in the living room. Just came there and said, no, man, what are you talking about? Judge, we are afraid of him. Another hand went up, and I kid you not here today. All 6 hands went up. All 6 mothers said basically the exact same thing. We are afraid of this young man. Please don't send him back. Send him to St. Croix. And that's what the judge did. But Judge Kendall, who is the most
It was just a one.
liberal, all 6 of them.
All 6 kids. Oh, I thought you were saying that all parents didn't want the one. Okay.
It was, we can't control him.
Our kids.
We are afraid of him. He runs the house. We don't run it. He go and come when he want. He eat what he want. He do what he want. Judge, take him.
All those kids in school? Most of them in.
I think they were in school. At least they were in 7th, 8th grade. And when I represented one of these boys, I'm looking at this guy like, you? You got to be kidding. 100 pounds, barely 5 feet, and you can't control. You as a parent, you have no
That's
help.
unfair pressure.
You have no help. You can't control him.
That's unfair pressure.
That's the kind of world we are living in our Virgin Islands today, that a lot of us don't realize how bad it is. It's bad.
I keep coming back to this thing about parents and having a one-parent home with just a mother and the kids and the father out of the household. I know of many situations where you have beautiful fathers who care about their kids, but their mothers are the biggest pains because the mother the mother and the father is not agreeing in life anymore. Their mothers will put the fathers out and turn the kids against the fathers and lie to the fathers, lie to their kids about things that the fathers are doing and keep the fathers away from their kids. They want the child support money, but sometimes for the kids to see their fathers, they can't see them. And that turns a lot of kids away from a lot of men chase a lot of men out of the household.
There are exceptions.
So there's a two-way thing, and I say that there should be like what I forget which should have said. There need to be a better meeting of the minds and families fighting for their children rather than their children fighting to know who their father and their mothers are.
But even if you don't have a relationship with your father, there was always some positive, constructive male presence that was there to prop you up, to be there for the sons and all of that. That existed. You know, right now we've sort of shifted to every man for himself kind of environment in Virgin Islands. You drive home, you see those guys on the street doing their thing, you put up the glass, and you go your way. And sadly, that's kind of how it has what it has, it has become here in our territory.
And you think maybe,
you
maybe it's an economic thing? You think maybe
economics
it's the economy?
I think economics is a big part of it. Economics is a big part of it. And I think when you grinding out and living in this territory, the cost of living is so serious. We pay the most for housing, we pay the most for food, we pay the most for clothing, we pay the most for everything. Under every American, any place in America flies a flag. So it's a challenge, and when you have to have multiple jobs, and as a result of having to have multiple jobs, you're not available, you don't have the time to be present in the lives of your children. It's like you sort of pick your poison. What do I do? Do I not take this extra job at Kmart? Or do I, just stay home with my children and I'm not able to pay my rent?
I wouldn't accept the argument that any mother could keep any father away from his children. If we can know if you are a father, if you are a parent, and if you want to parent, you may find a way to parent. You go to court to force the court to have you be a parent if that's what it is.
We can have a child, but I don't think he's a parent.
And this is my point.
Okay.
And so I wouldn't accept that. I think that would be an excuse. If
you're going to do everything, in fact, you're going to do everything that you need to see your kids and take care of your kids.
And I don't know a lot of mothers, it may be 1%, who don't want help in the raising of their children.
I agree.
I think if a father wants to be a part of their child,
Nothing and nobody.
I don't think anything.
That they can do whatever is
Even
necessary.
have to go to court.
Yeah.
Fight to it.
And you talk about child support and stuff like that. I know of mothers who, regardless, some of them don't even take the father to court. And they out there and they struggle 2 and 3 jobs sometimes just to make ends meet. I know a lot of children feel that they are not a part of. And by them feeling as though they are not a part of, they cannot get a job. They do not have the skills. And I think it comes back again to, some of the same thing about education. Because as was mentioned earlier, not everyone wants to go to college. I remember I used to teach economics at Canterbury School. And I know in teaching economics, I have seen students have come to me and said, Mr. Potter, what can I do to make some money? And some of them will actually tell you, what can I do to help my mother? Okay? And I will give them ideas, and some of them will go ahead and they will take it and they will run with it. Others will not. One guy in particular told me, he said, Mr. Potter, I was in your economics class. He said, all of my notes that you shared with us, all of the notes that you shared with us, he said, I still have them. He said, once I got out of high school, I started to implement some of these same things that you've been talking about. He said, right now, he said, on paper, the guy was about 26 years old. He said, Mr. Potter, he said, on paper right now, I am worth over $2 million.
You living there?
Yeah, living right there. Right? He said, I'm worth over $2 million. And he said, as a matter of fact, one of the students who was in the class with me works for me. Okay?
What line of business was he in?
I
If you remember.
I cannot recall exactly what it was into. But I know it was a legal business. It was legal. You know, it was legal. Yeah, it was a legal business. That was, I remember in Tortola, you and I, we worked for like it was $5 a week. After school by Dr. What was it, Dentist Hurt?
Yeah,
You remember?
But remember the first time I went to the damn dentist hurt.
His name is what?
By that
Yes. Dentist hurt.
Well, let me tell you, you know how it felt
To get
end of the week to get $5 and you
But back then it was a lot of money.
yeah, no, and you can take that $5 and you could give mommy or granny or whatever, and she could, you probably got 25 cents
Out of
out of it.
Well,
You know that one a month?
You remember the sugar cake?
Oh.
You remember the sugar cake lady by the school we went to, Rotown School?
Yeah, right there by the Diamond Tree.
Yeah.
Right there by the
You
tree.
used to be searching to find a penny. You get a penny and you could go buy a sugar cake.
Listen to
And
this,
people
man.
would ask you for peace.
But listen to this. Barbados Bay St. Philip School. I found a dime. I found a dime. That was the most money in life. All of a sudden, the young girls started to come. I never had a girl come around yet. 2, 3 of them come. I have the money. Because I can tell you, I'm telling you.
No, you have to be like a year, 2 years younger. I left Atola when I was 10.
I left when I came, because when I came, I went 4th grade, back at school.
Yeah, I went to school when I was
So,
8. But let's talk about economics of it.
but that's economics.
I know. I think it was 9th grade. 9th grade because I was too young to get a official job. And I think the summer before I was still at work. We had a good friend of the family who had, there was that store right there by Miss Annie's store.
Yeah.
So I was so glad to get a job at Miss Annie's store. I worked for the whole summer. And I get $40. I get for the whole summer. This ain't no joke. I remember this was a fact.
How you get the money? You get the money at the end of it.
At the end. I used to be there dusting down the stuff for the clothes.
And you were
He didn't want to work for her no more. You had stopped and you went to work someplace, and I didn't want to stay home for the summer, not me.
You have to cook.
And I couldn't just play baseball, I think, for the summer, all summer. But I got a summer job. And I get $40. And that buy my school uniform, my shoes and everything, because I know money had all of us to hook up for school clothes and everything. And that $40 went so far. I tell you, that was like manna from heaven. $40 for the whole summer.
But they had a program. It was super shoes. Yeah, I don't remember that. Right? Super shoe program. You buy a certain amount of groceries and you get a free pair of shoes. And I was in probably 7th grade or 8th grade. And I said, man, I need some, sneakers for gym. Blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, they have the super shoes program, my spirit sing. Oh my God. I can't go to school with super shoes.
You can't, you just
I got an F for gym because it was a bad thing. I refused to wear the super shoes for gym class.
One thing we had was masking tape, and the Converse, once it had Converse there, it
so you can play
the tape, and I tape them. It was better because of the logo.
That's
People before,
pressure.
correct, from the logo. You could have a brand new pair, and it would be a they will overlook the tape that you have once you see the Converse sign. I'm telling you.
Ridiculous.
I remember, I think it was either 5th or 6th grade, I needed a bag, a school bag.
So like a backpack.
Like a backpack. So I told Mommy, I need a bag for school. Mommy said, she ain't no money for no bag.
I want a priority over
Yeah,
asking.
I really need a bag. So Monday come, Mommy said, okay, I'll be going to bed, you. I kid you not. Mommy come out with a suitcase. Gave me the suitcase to put my books in to go to school. I said, Mommy, can't go with that suitcase to school.
I think I did that one.
Mommy cuss and carry her boys a bag. I ball. I don't know who's somebody help me. I said, Mommy, you can't do this suitcase. Somebody intervened on my behalf.
I was gone. I was
Let the big sick there.
So we really need to open up economic opportunities for young people.
No, it's important. It's important because
We really do.
I know I faked my age to get my first real job. And that was in Pueblo. You couldn't work Pueblo unless you was 16, I think. And I was 15. And I went on, I told them I was 16. They didn't check nothing. But I got my first real job, other than working for Miss Annie, who was a friend. And I
was
worked
not a friend.
The whole summer.
And I think the other year, I got a job out at the hotel in Water Island. Water Island had a hotel.
Honeymoon.
Yeah, that hotel, I used to be there. I used to work, like washing the dishes and cleaning up the kitchen. I used to have to go over on the ferry.
I've been working from a young age.
Yeah, I think that's when we were living down west. But I used to go on that ferry and go out there and wash the dishes. I mapped it. Listen, that was a good job, you know. I guess I'm good cash for that, summer thing there. And after that, it was upward bound. I had to go. But I forged my age when I was 15.
I remember
I got a
getting
job in Pueblo, and that was it.
I remember getting my
working
first
since
job,
then.
$2.70 an hour. That was a summer job with the same program, the same maintenance program that,
Yeah.
people
I know you were paid.
Yeah.
And I got a total of $37. But I remember getting it was my second check. And when we went, all of us went and we changed, Keith Benjamin and all, and we went and we changed the check. We catching my because we used to live down the road then.
West.
Correct. And I went home looking for my money. God.
Come here, guy.
Lost. Not make $39 that I got for the 2 weeks plus. I lost that.
God,
I balled mother.
I would have bought to a second ball.
That one was rough. $2.90.
I know me and Cecil used to sell paper, newspapers.
Yeah, used to sell
those,
yeah.
Wash
Cars.
cars, some carpenter place used to wash cars.
Yeah, my first job was, I think it was youth conservation corps or something like that. We actually did Megan's Bay now, there's a trail or something there in the back of Megan's Bay.
Yeah,
so we
I
cut,
know what it is.
we cut in the bush and kind of started a trail.
Cotton Ocean. I could remember it, dude, I just started something. I could remember when we were living in Tatola of Phantom's God. I was doing something. I used to be a nurse.
Yeah.
And a battle sliced my foot.
One of them like this.
You hear me?
He had a
And mommy got a needle
and thread. She sewed
and
my foot.
thread.
These were around
Okay.
bare feet.
Wow.
She got a needle and thread and sewed, I think about 2 stitches inside of my foot. Wow. Okay? no ambulance to call.
I got mumps.
I don't know if I had a mumps. I had something.
I got mumps one time.
I don't know.
Either mom or granny roast or sweet potatoes.
Yeah, that's
Tie
what
on night
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
I don't think I probably had measles.
Mumps,
I don't know.
Tie
if I had
on-
mumps.
tie on-
Mums is
Yeah.
peas bush. You used to have to boil
Well,
the peas
well,
bush.
they
up.
got
Put it on your...
they got a sweet potato.
Slice it.
And then slice a sweet
And then
potato,
tie it wrong, you know.
roast
Yeah.
it, and tie it on the jar here. Tie a piece of thing. You shall see me for days. A piece of sweet potato tie.
Yeah, I never get a mumps. I never get a
That
mumps.
was only Friday
I don't think I've had
afternoon
it.
till Monday morning.
I don't remember. All I know is I remember.
See, that was our healthcare back then.
Yeah.
That was our
healthcare.
healthcare.
And what we used to do,
And I-
no. The healthcare was every other weekend. We either got castor oil,
Senna.
senna leaves,
Senna.
or you pick up
That was
syrup.
correct.
That's when
The
the
summer used to get out of
Yeah,
it.
if you got Senna, it'll make you vomit.
Vomit.
Out there,
Yeah.
everything.
The Senna, it
People are using that thing
will
to-
go through.
But
the
I
whole-
don't know how
That
far.
was healthcare
I don't know
back
how far I want to go on this one here, but I know Granny gave me Senna one day when we were living Fort Hill.
Couldn't be when you went to school.
No,
At the
I,
school,
I had to go
Maybe in
into
the
town.
summer, man. The summer used to get...
But I had to go into town. She gave me the Senna and I had to go into town. I don't know if you ever heard the rest. Hey, listen, that was really worthless.
But that was healthcare.
Tell them about when mommy made ice cream.
Oh man, that used to be the best thing.
Homemade
Mom used to make ice cream for like the whole,
Man.
like the whole village. Mommy
Yeah,
used to-
and the ice. Put it in
We had a thing to churn ice cream.
Thomas, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sinclair and I used to be churning ice cream, and people used to come on their little 10-cent ice cream.
Boy, that was like heaven.
That thing used to taste good.
You
It
get
was on a
some
Sunday. It was on a Sunday.
I would like to eat some ice, make some ice cream
They don't
again.
make it like that anymore?
No.
I used to make it for 10 cents or so. Man, Whopper is crazy. I remember when we can have when the power rate stop going up.
You know, this power been going
Power
up.
used to be going up from since I'm 67 years old now. And from the time I like 11, 12 years old, power going off and coming on and going off and coming on all the time. It went off up to this past week.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to
About twice.
You have businesses, to have a reliable economy, you have to have reliable power.
Yeah.
You have businesses now who just can't survive.
Yeah, but now a lot of people have their own generators. A lot of
Some
people
do,
have
but
their
a lot
own
don't.
generators, yeah.
I probably think that there's too many, the homes for this particular island and the businesses. I think that WAPA, they need a new system. They need to have, bigger,
Bigger one.
they need to have
No, they just need to make it
They focus,
efficient.
they focus, I think they have a plan.
It's
And
efficiency is the key.
They've kind of
They have a plan.
set a plan, and the plan really they're saying is they need to have more, is propane, more efficient
but they can use
generators.
they use
Because the generators that we have now inefficient, running a lot of old fuel, and that's costing us.
For how long?
So they're moving on that towards, they got like, they got like $600 million from FEMA.
That building, that structure that they have up on the hill, are they utilizing that? That's
No, they-
that's a tank.
I don't think.
That's where the tanks are, correct?
I don't think they use it.
I don't think it's.
That's in the roof.
But they-
By the airport. By the-
No, in Wacom, up the hill,
Up on the hill.
up on the hill.
That
Big
big
structure,
structure.
big structure, big structure.
I'm not sure they use it.
You talk about for
I
water.
heard,
No, no.
I heard.
So this is, you guys partner, good partner.
And having the generators to, propane.
That's the plan,
Yeah.
to have the efficient, smaller
Small generators.
generators to use the solar
Yeah, that's
and
what-
power into the grid.
That's what they said for the last
That's
3
hard.
years.
Yeah,
That's what they said for the last 3 years.
I think for the hurricane, they got access to,
Yeah, big money.
$600 million from FEMA, I think, and like $200 million from HUD. So to bury a percentage of the cable underground.
Do you understand
the composite?
Do you understand that fee that they claimed that they didn't include a couple of years ago, and they are putting that on us now?
Maybe based on what they just
Where you're going to have
double billing.
a double billing. I do not understand that up to yet. I really do not understand.
They want to come, because they made a mistake, they want to come back.
I think it was an error that they made, and they did not include some sort of, they didn't bill us for something years ago, and now they are including it, so we are going to have a double bill. Correct.
They've already issued a double bill.
Huh?
They already issued.
Correct. I don't understand. I do not understand. I need to know what was it.
Because I can get out the degree there about to invest in some solar. Now, solar kind of scary. The estimate I get for what, 12 panels? $30,000, $35,000.
And how long do they say you're going to recoup that?
And they say
That's 12 panels plus the
the
battery, the Tesla.
The Tesla, they say 10 years at about like $400 a month or something. This is kind of crazy.
That's
That
crazy.
is-
So then somebody else approached me and said, no man, that's expensive.
That's expensive, very expensive.
You could get a little bit less power for $3,500.
That's what I would go for.
$3,500.
That's what I would
He
do.
said that'll run your lights, your refrigerator, maybe your water pump. The only issue is the heater, hot water heater.
You will use that for
But what you
your
know,
infrastructure and for the entire,
No,
the entire
just
for your
Yeah,
unit.
and for $3,500,
So,
sign me up.
If you could get it for 25,
If I
I
get it for
kind
$25.
of don't think
because I paid about
Even if it's double that, if it's
Yeah.
7,
that's a lot better than 30,000.
better than 30,000.
if I paid 15,000 for mine, but I do not have, I have 15
Yeah, 50.
panels. Because I have solar, water, heat and everything, and my bill used, my bill used to be like $500, sometimes $600 a month.
you kidding me?
You
I'm
mean
telling
for the system?
No, yeah, when I
Before.
but now,
Before the system.
you know, my bill could be anywhere from $150, $160, maybe $200,
That's a big city.
you know.
Is the credit, the credit is out? The credit
Five,
is
600.
675?
Yeah, the credit is up.
Yeah.
The credit is up.
That's what you're paying, Wappa?
Yeah.
Look,
Five,
Look,
sometimes
then somebody
Five.
is cheating
up to about-
somebody.
Up to about 600.
Somebody's cheating somebody.
You know.
You got
I
AC?
know.
You got AC?
Me?
You got AC in the house?
No.
Listen, in Atlanta, right now, before I came here after the hurricane, I used to pay like maybe 70 something, 80 something dollars a month for my electricity. I have air condition, I have heating and air.
Yeah, because
That's
that's
complete.
you like $7, $8 a kilowatt. Here it's like $40
$43, $44
a kilowatt.
That's the hardship, that's the oppressive
And
environment. that
then we
live in,
have
right?
a refrigerator running.
Yeah. But that's everybody else. We
But-
pay,
but-
we pay the highest per kilowatt hour rate of any place America flies or
That's
flies.
because you guys
That's the
allow
reality. I lived in the States, so I know.
Yeah.
I know I paid nothing, just like you're talking
Yeah.
about. But we're living here in St. Thomas.
Like
But we're gonna have to make the conversion to the energy efficient generators. We have to.
And when that happens and Wappa start to feel the pinch, then Wappa is going to come and pay you guys, charge you guys a lot less for power. Wappa is just greedy.
I don't think it's
saw,
the system.
Yeah,
This is your old aging generators.
You have too much
Old fuel.
inefficiency. throughout the
Inefficiency.
system.
yeah.
Anyway, St. Clair, so I know you enjoying your retirement.
Man, but she is good.
But
Yeah,
but how are those retirement checks looking?
The retirement's looking good. Best thing since sliced bread.
What is GRS in the text?
But I must confess, they still have some money to me. Working on that. The coronavirus thing, I think slowed it down. But as soon as this is finished, you know, I think.
But how could the coronavirus slow it down?
No, because
People ain't working full
they're
time.
not working. They're
home.
home.
So you're confident that you will get?
Yes, as far as the last communication I got, I should have been able to get it. Probably it would have been maybe like a couple weeks after the corona.
Well, they're giving you a further percentage of your final salary when you were in store.
Oh,
You get 180%?
No.
No, you usually get 75%,
Yes,
a maximum of $65.
Yeah.
So you get 75% of that if you work for 30 years for the system.
And
You earn the
and then you apply for
up
social
to
security and you
65.
get social security also.
Yeah.
Okay, so that make it up.
But
I heard now that they're saying that they're going to be cutting every, our retirees' salary, pension by
40%.
40.
Okay, they cut it for 40% and you put that into the system.
If they don't have the money,
No, but it's somebody taking the money.
yes, but somebody taking the
pension
money.
systems all over the world.
think
This
you
kind of dire straits. We are a little worse off than most.
Because
it's not something
of
that's
the market.
unique.
It's because of the market.
That's a part of it
That's
too.
a part.
But a lot of the structure,
Structure is system.
we had a whole lot of unfunded mandates that were implemented and were never paid for. Right now, you're talking about the projection is that by 2023, the system is going to
The bankrupt.
run out of funds.
So what
The only thing that we can be able, you can still get a check. You can still get a check.
You get 40% less.
You're going to get a 42% reduction in your pension. And that's if it is approved. It doesn't have,
Unless when you get in, you find a way to get some money filtered through to the GRS.
we have to because we can't survive. This territory cannot survive with pensioners getting a reduction in their annuity checks by 42%. And they're saying that's a best case scenario. They're saying that is if the government pays an additional 3% every 5 years up to 35.5%. So if they could do that, if the government does nothing, continues at its own pace, you're talking about a 55% reduction in their annuity. So that's significant. That's a big hole in the budget economy.
Question.
They say that's what 25% of GDP that will just evaporate. So
If
we can't afford that.
the governor, the Senate petition or the representatives that they all have go up and petition the government for a stipend, a relief, basically until you can catch up. Will they consider a loan and screw y'all up like they screw up Puerto Rico?
There's been some talk from other jurisdictions about getting the Congress to sort of provide some kind of bailout for governments that
Mitch McConnell
have
said
issues
no.
with the pension.
Any blue
McConnell,
states,
they're saying we
is
are not
not.
bailing out
they're
any
not.
of these pension systems,
That's Mitch
public
McConnell.
pension systems that are in trouble.
They're not.
We're not bailing them out.
They get
You can't rely on the federal government.
Okay.
This looks like a problem that we can have to fix.
Okay.
It made it
They
clear.
didn't make it a secret. They made it clear
Made it
that
clear.
this action we are not taking. We are not bailing out any pension.
But they don't want to
So
pay.
in this right
Let me show you
now,
something. Let me show you something.
in this thing here,
Let me show you
now,
something. Wait.
so we can have to find
Is
some
it-
new
is it because-
reliable revenue stream.
Is it because the
In
Virgin
order to
Islands of
extend the life of the system? It's all jurisdictions
No, no, I just-
who have a pension problem. All of them.
all
They are
jurisdictions
saying we are not
throughout
bailing
the United States?
out the United States. You have to figure it out. That's what Mitch McConnell and the folks in
Yeah,
Washington are
that's
saying.
what Mitch.
So we can't rely on that.
Yeah, they say the pension systems are too generous. and they need to reform them.
Right.
And that's how
That's
it's
generous.
And then not rewarding
So
people for
their solution is just let it crash, and then you gotta do it the right way.
Well, it is obvious that there are two main things that caused GRS to be in a position, and that was the early retirement and 20 years for police, fire, correction, you know.
Yeah, you get at 40
Correct.
and living to be 100.
Correct, and they are getting, and that was
Look
one.
at how long
There are two things. It's the early retirement where they were giving individuals $10,000 to retire, and still they're getting the full pension, and then retire, the early retirement, as early retirement it is, for 20 years, and still, that cost $2 billion. It was $1.8 billion in the system.
Who invested the money? Who's the chief investor? The GRS.
Well, they have some consultants, some real blue chip consultants who invest in the money for GRS. The problem is the portfolio has been depleted so much that there's no money to invest. So when the market was really robust and doing well, the Virgin Islands GRS didn't have the money to take advantage of the robust market. We just didn't have it. They were busy every month. They had to liquidate their assets to continue to pay retirees. That's the problem here. And on top of that, once upon a time it was a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio between retirees, active employees to retirees. It was like 3 to 4 active employees for every retiree. So it was easy to pay that out and to have a nice investment portfolio.
Because of the early retirement, and that is what
But
caused
that's
the
part of
numbers.
it. That's part of it, and they used to underfund the system.
1 to 7 now.
It's-
That's what I heard.
It's
1 to 7.
One
it's
employee
one.
for every 7 retirees.
It's 1-to-1,
It's so- it's-
almost
it's
right
about-
now.
it's about-
It's like one.
Or 1 to 1.
It's a little less than one active for every retiree. So
And
the fact that it's a little less than one is
It's
telling you that that's a
it's-
troubling situation.
What rate
And
are
it's
they?
3 to
What
4 to
rate
1.
are the retirees dying?
They're living a lot longer.
Hmm.
So it's a combination of factors that has led to this
Who
implosion
are
of
the
the system.
consultants for the investment?
I mean, they have some real top-notch blue chip
Where you don't
consultants. I
talk,
don't know.
where you don't talk to Edward in the ES.
I mean, they have some of the top pension consultants around.
Money.
Yes.
We have some restrictions. The
Talk to,
law restricts them from just
talk to the ES.
investing in any and everything.
The ES is just as good as
Like-
Dow any of these other
The
markets.
system that
Talk to
UBI has,
Edward.
the
Talk to
system that UBI has is TSA Crest.
TIA correct.
TTIA Crest compared to the system that the local government has as far as investment. Which one is better?
You talk to
I mean, they will tell you that the TIA graph because they're liquid and they're doing well. And I know a few people who actually became millionaires because it kind of allows you to invest if you want to be aggressive.
But
It's like a 401k
correct.
type structure. So you could invest a whole lot and there's a matching kind of
Correct, it's a
formula
matching.
that you use. So you have that kind of flexibility. For this system, I think in order for us to be able to attract younger people to participate, we can have to convert to a similar system, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Why was there the no
But it's-
profitable? You know,
I think we had a defined benefit system, and the defined benefit was sweet. When it's working good, it's sweet because when you sign up for this job, they promise you, you know what you're going to get.
But the thing about it is
Based on
very,
your time.
very, very sad for individuals who are in the government system for 20 years now, 25 years, and they know that they're going to stay there for the next 5 years to make it 30, and there's a great possibility that they're not going to be a dime.
Yeah.
But it's mandatory, this 11%, 10% depending on, they are coming out. It's like the robber coming and thief, and you just, you could come in and you can't do anything. You
Think
have
about
to get-
people who
you have to-
who just started out.
It's a problem.
And you're telling them, being in HR, you used to dangle to them, listen, you have a real lucrative and beautiful defined benefit program that is a part of your fringe benefit package. Now you can't
No, you
really
can't.
even use that as an incentive. They're coming in saying, I have to participate.
It's
What happens? Is there any way that I could
mandatory.
get out of it? but the law says it's mandatory.
You know,
And then if
that
they
one
don't
there is
benefit
rough,
from
you
it,
know.
they will.
And then with all the news, I mean, with everything saying, look,
I mean,
the
if
day
you
of
think,
reckoning is coming, it's hard.
and if
for
you
to
think
go
of it
ahead
again,
and
individuals,
become
some
someone
individuals
else.
have started working for government at age 20, which means at age 50, they will put in their 30 years.
30 years already.
And then they still have to wait another 15 or maybe 12 years to get their social
To get it.
security. Okay? And it is rough. What are they going to
Look,
do?
I'm telling you, it is a very difficult thing. It's the one thing that I
That
see
is
all the
rough.
time that
That
keeps
is
me
rough.
up at night. How are we going to fix it? I know Governor Bryan, he's been on the radio with the COVID-19, doing an excellent job of sounding the alarm of what's happening with COVID-19. Former Governor Mapp was on the radio every day during the storm. Oswald was there too, sharing with us what's happening, how critical this situation is. I don't think that for the last couple of years we've done a good enough a job to sound the alarm with respect to GRS and what's happening. I mean, and it's not just saying the sky is falling, but telling people, being real with people, look, the hurricane is coming. At least we know it's coming, and we could board up, we could remove the galvanized from our yards. Virgin Islanders know the drill very well with that. But with this,
COVID-19
I
is
don't
alive.
think people understand
Exactly,
fully.
COVID-19.
I don't think people fully grasp.
COVID-19 is alive.
I don't think that
talking
people-
about it, not the COVID-19.
People fully grasp the magnitude of the loss, the potential loss of GRS, and not just for retirees, but for the community as a whole, because that's a chunk of revenues that will be sucked up. So we have no choice but to find viable, reliable funding sources to fix this system, add life to this system. And that's what I think every legislator has to move heaven and earth to do. Every day that
When you get in, you're going to have to lead the charge on the conscious level and the,
absolutely.
the level. I mean, your whole slogan will come into play from the one when you get in there regarding GRS. Let's get serious.
Yeah.
Regarding GRS, your 14 other colleagues are going to have to understand that everybody going to have to put whatever energies and skills they have together as elected officials to move on just trying to buy some years.
Yeah.
You know, with Governor Mapp, our approach was to buy some years, not to try and resolve GRS in one, because the financial requirements to do that is off the charts. But once you understand how much it costs to buy a year, then you keep buying years and
Extending the life progressively.
extending the life of GRS. If you go in there trying to find the billions that you need,
$3 billion
to
is
resolve
impossible.
GRS, you're gonna go crazy.
Absolutely.
Find out how much it need to buy a year at a time, 2 years at a time, and that's what the focus will have to be. And you know, it's the only way you can
the only way.
over this problem.
Right now, you're talking about like $150 million annually. You have to identify a new revenue stream to extend a year of life.
I see lip
So it's very
service.
serious. It's
I
very
see lip
serious.
service with no
It's just
action.
very, very, very serious.
I see lip service with no action with this government here.
You have to take some real aggressive steps to make things
And you have to pay the people.
and prepare the
You have to
people
pay the people.
simultaneously.
Oh, yeah.
You know, simultaneously you have to
You have
prepare
to
the
buy
folks.
them in, for them to buy into
Exactly.
the pain that's coming.
That's right.
You think they're gonna, you
That's
think
right.
that anybody is gonna want to suffer this?
I could remember, Daddy telling us at one time, Daddy used to say, if I believe any one of you involved in drugs in any way, he said, I personally will take you, and that I was for Christian, and when I look at the little cells they have inside
Yes,
it,
for Christian.
say, I personally would drive you up to Fort Christian and let them deal with you. I remember that. It's been
Many
about
years.
50 years. And I remember that I said to myself, jeez.
But let me tell you how this joke.
I had to drop
Let me
in my
tell you how
grandfather
this
and they had immediately.
Let me tell you how this joke.
No, that was a joke.
Let me tell you how this. Let me tell you how this. This is real true. I was working territorial court, and I used to always work in the afternoons, listen to the news before I leave.
Ikanos.
Licon news, Licon news.
But they didn't have choice.
No, it happened one time. So I walk in and I hear the car come on the radio. Police arrested Osborne Potter today for possession with intent to distribute.
I remember that, you know.
You know,
Remember that.
I walk in there and that's what come on the radio. So the guy I'm working with, like the next day, I said, okay, your name Ronnie Joseph. I said, Ronnie, you hear that? He said, yeah, what you been doing? So now I know before I leave the office, Daddy called me. I was like, what the hell going on? Because Daddy working Frenchman's Reef, taxi and all Frenchman's Reef, and Daddy here and here, this is the news. So I was like, what the hell going on with you? What the hell going on? I said, Daddy, it ain't me, it can't be me. It better not be you, it better not be you. I'm a big man. It better not be you, it better not be you. But it was so weird because just a simple thing like that. I had just buy my first new car that I ever got. My first new car that I bought was a GMC Genie. A GMC.
Yeah.
First car that I bought was brand new.
Yeah, I think I
So, but people were saying, oh, so that's where he get the money. So that's where he got the money. But luckily they're working at the court and
You were there, you accounted for it.
the next day, no, the Monday they bring the guy into court.
His name was Osborne for you?
No, his name was Osborne Libon. Osborne Libon.
And the
But
car.
They were thinking about you a
Probably
lot.
never heard nobody else named Osborne, but
Yeah. So Potter came
and
to
he said Osborne Potter. And I was going away to the National Guard for summer camp, like in a week. And you know, all I said to myself, well, if I just gone away for annual training and people didn't see me for a couple weeks, that's all I keep saying. So I had to call the station right away and tell them it is not the Osborne Potter.
And that's associated with Potter Parsons and associated.
It is not the Potter that's in the
That's
Canada
class of
It is not the
1974.
Potter that's before. It's not me. But yeah, Daddy, all of that to come back and say, yeah, Daddy was serious about us getting in any kind of trouble and us doing anything out of the way and us doing any criminal type of activity. I mean, Daddy was a police.
Yeah.
Daddy was a police before.
I remember, even though you didn't have no shoes to put on your foot, you step outside, he wanted to put your shirt in your pants. He used to do that all the time.
That kind of discipline went a long way. That kind of, I mean, you didn't like everything, but it went a long way in you just getting your act together and you trying to pass that on to your children and hope your children don't stray away and all of that. That's, went a long way.
I could remember also Daddy used to drink.
And the car used to find the way home.
That would be amazing,
But what I want to say is that, you know, I can never remember Daddy drinking at home. He wouldn't buy liquor and bring to the house. Christmas, like when we used to live in Tortola, I could remember, you know, guava berry and all that type of stuff. But Daddy would drink and get home. I guess the car used to probably drive itself sometimes. He would keep us up all night talking.
Yeah.
And you got to go to school the following morning.
Yeah.
But this is the time now he wants to have you and, you know, sit and be philosophical,
Yes.
and, you know, all that type of stuff.
He was a philosophical
Yes.
drinker, yes.
Yeah. And that time you look up at the clock and you see what time it is.
Yeah.
But you know,
I
not a violent
No.
post at all. Not violent.
One
So
word Sinclair that I remember this
Mm-hmm.
when was the word initiative.
Yeah.
I remember him
Yeah.
coming home and the other little booze and he was like, what, everyone? What's initiative? Everybody sleeping. What's the meaning of initiative? Well, you kind of like in dreamland now, we can wake up out of your sleep. What's the meaning of initiative? But that was the time that he used to kind of start drilling me words and meaning and all that stuff.
He used to
be on cue.
He used to use conspicuous.
Yeah. Oh, one of his favorite words, yes.
One of the things you used to say, you say, I got stocks and bonds.
Yeah,
Stocks and bonds.
I remember, you know, he used to always tell us, he used to always say, make something of yourself. Go to the army. Go to the army. Make something of yourself.
None of
Army called Fitzroy to go to Puerto Rico. He got his number at God.
So you have to go there for the
He got the
physical
number
one.
right.
Yeah, that was 69,
And
that's
Daddy,
69.
and they told Fitzroy he's a delinquent. And he was going straight to basic training.
A1.
So they called Daddy. Daddy said, who? Not my son. Not my son. Not my son. He said, my son got a letter from you guys and he came down. He did not get any other correspondence. You're not sending my son to no basic training. Look, that was rough with them, you know. But they sent this one right back to St. Thomas.
That's why they had a draft.
Yeah.
I got drafted and I went to Puerto Rico.
How come you didn't get selected?
I went to college. I was a conscientious objector.
So you could have opted to go to college.
Oh yeah.
You didn't know.
I went to college. I went to college. They asked me to join the ROTC. I joined the ROTC. I was just in college. I tried to make something good of myself. I had everyone there. I could go to Navy, Army, Air Force, whatever I wanted.
How many times you guys went to the pen relays?
We really went once. You did.
I never did go to the pen relay.
Because you went to college earlier or
So
something
it
like
was
that.
Rainy High School, Rainy in Puerto Rico.
We went to Rainy 4 years in a row.
I know we went to Puerto Rico.
Not Rainy, we went to Rainy. We went to San Amant.
Yeah,
In
but
my way.
we used to go to Puerto Rico
We went to the
all the time. Even though, I go there. The first time I went there, I was leading the mile relay. The guy, I had this Bigfoot coming behind me. The guy passed me and I'm coming second or something like that. After that, none of them ever beat me again. I went and I run the 100, I beat them. I run the 200, I beat them. I run the 4, I beat them. And I was getting ready to run something else. And the coach for one of the teams
So you can't really think
came
of
back and told Tamo, he don't run no more.
You went too much.
I remember one time, when I taught at tank crime, and I know somebody was in school, and they didn't show up to my class, I used to go and look for them. And I remember one time they were down in, had one of them my bleachers, somebody Ken, and I brought him back up to class. And I remember a guy telling me, one day I was in one of those stores, it was either Kmart or something, I was stooping down looking at something, and I heard this voice behind me say, Mr. Potter, don't move, don't turn around. So I look around, you know.
That's a scary thing.
No, you know, I look around, and when I look around, one of my former students, he said, Mr. Potter, he said, you don't know what type of an impact you had on me when I was in your class. He said, you made sure that I go to class. He said there were times when I thought of dropping out of school because I thought nobody cared. But you showed me that you cared. And as a result of that, I am so grateful because he said, I finished high school, I went to trade school, and then I'm going back to school again.
You tell me it all the time, you know.
Yeah,
Your brother teach me in Cancun, your brother, Mr. Potter.
Well, that's interesting to see.
So it's, you know, it's
Mr. Potter cared.
it's the impact that you have. And it doesn't have to be a teacher, it can be anyone.
Anybody.
It can be anyone. Yeah. You go there, you see that somebody's in need of whatever. I've seen people have a good pants to wear to school or whatever. Go, a couple of teachers get together, wear the child pants. You know,
There is power in people, young people, believing that somebody else knows that they can do well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
I remember, I was going to find out about this. I remember going into my first semester at UVA. When you go to UVA, you have to take a math entrance class.
Mm-hmm.
Math entrance test. At least back then it was.
Math and English.
Skills.
And I failed the test.
You feel like this?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I went into math skills. Maybe about a month or so, I came out of math skills. And I went into college algebra with Mr. Heckler. Heckler. And my first day in Heckler class, Heckler looked at me and said, wait, you're a Potter? I know your brother is Osborne. I said, yeah. He said, Osborne was an excellent student in my class. One of my best students ever. He said, you are going to do fantastic in my class. I know Mr. Heckler from Adam. Mr. Heckler planted the seed in my head that I am going to do fantastic. And
You did find out.
I didn't want to disappoint Mr. Heckler.
That's not the family.
Big you up.
Yeah, reputation of the family.
That's not the family name. I made, and I'm not kidding, I never think I'm kidding, 100% on every math test I had in Mr. Heckler's class. But I came out with skills, and I made 100 because
Yeah.
it was
Somebody.
amazing, the
Somebody,
power of
yeah.
expectation.
Yeah.
And we need to plan that in our year.
But, you know, talking about that.
Father's Day means a lot to me. It means to be responsible. Okay?
Father's
It means to
Day?
be absolutely.
You think so?
Okay.
Father's Day. Father's
Father's
Day.
Day. I've been a father, not necessarily Father's Day. Because for me, Father's Day is
It's every
every
day.
day. every day. Father's
I believe in Father's Day.
Father's Day specifically was just a ploy for,
Yeah,
and like Mother's Day and any other day.
And Christmas
Valentine's
Day.
Day is an economic, we try to let
Debacle.
individuals spend
An economic debacle.
that every day should be Valentine's Day, every day should be Mother's Day, every day should be Father's Day. I don't think it's just one day we set aside and we decide to love our fathers. Edison may think different, but
Every
it's
day.
every day. So
If
that
they're not
should
around
be
me, I talk to
being
them
a
every
father
day.
and
That's
not necessarily
Father's life.
Father's Day.
I really want.
It's a Father's life.
Father's Day is not every day. It's a day.
It's a day.
Okay? It's a day that somebody came up with. It's a day.
No, it's like I think, right?
It's recognition.
It's a recognition.
It's special.
One
How
day.
you want to do crazy?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
It don't mean you should neglect being a father
For the rest of the
of the year.
And happy Father's Day to all the mothers that are doing double duty. Because they have some delinquent fathers who don't care about their children. So, say hip hip hooray to the mothers. It was most of the mothers. Half of these delinquent boys out there would be in jail.
And I would like to say to the father, go and look for your children.
Yeah.
You are the key
Yeah.
to turning our current condition of violence, neglect around. Go and look for your children. Go and look for your son. Keep them out of the
Even if you have a little push,
Yeah.
even if you get a little pushback,
Even if you get a little pushback.
you got
And-
obligation.
And then for under the general heading that it takes a village, we men and women, we live next door, across the street, from single parent household family, and we see boys growing up. We see mothers with sons. We could intervene.
Good intervene.
We could show some attention. We
You
could
gotta be
just,
careful.
yeah, but we could just generally
some interest.
show some
Some
interest.
interest. It's to our advantage to do that.
Because sometimes
In our
it
best
just
interest.
takes that.
Yeah.
Somebody thinking that there's somebody else out there who cares about it.
Like everything that we're seeing, I think we need to step up. Fathers need to step up to the plate and take their rightful place with respect to leading their families. Particularly, my pet peeve is the relationship with their sons. Establishing that relationship, because I think it's tied in to a lot of the trouble that we're experiencing in our community, the crime that we're seeing an upsurge of in our community. I think if fathers and father figures and uncles and big brothers and mentors could step in to fill the gap, I think it would do wonders to building back and restoring this community to the caliber of community that we grew up in.
Yeah.
That we grew up in, it was just something different, and that's my thing for this father. But I just want to say Happy Father's Day to all the
Okay,
fathers,
fine.
to all the fathers in the Virgin Islands, to all the fathers within the sound of my voice on behalf of the Potter family, the Potter brothers. We wish you well, and stay tuned. You can hear some more